it going, everyone? Welcome back to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So, last time we beat Simon. It took a bit. It definitely took a bit out of us. But we did it. We didn't look up some one-shot build or anything like that. We just did it on our own, learned the mechanics, got the timing, etc., etc. And it was quite fun. It was by the skin of our teeth. Could have been a lot cleaner, but we take those, right? So, that is the end of all of like the extra stuff that I had been wanting to do. Simon was the last one. Obviously, there are still things at the Endless Tower that we have not completed. The Uber bosses, for example, and then the Endless Tower itself, which we might actually try again, but the last time we tried it, we were getting a bug, a glitch that was soft locking us repeatedly. So, but there is only one thing that was kind of like on our list that we hadn't completed, and that was all of the journals. We were missing journal 60. So as I said, in between the last session and this session, I looked it up, and we didn't miss it. That's actually in the final dungeon where we're going, surprisingly enough. And that actually got me thinking when I put together the whole list of the things that we had missed. I'm actually pretty pleased with myself. We really only missed... This game really isn't that big of a game in comparison to some. But there are a lot of secrets, a lot of like little missing nooks and crannies and items and things like that. And we only actually missed like 4 or 5-ish Pictos and like 1 or 2 weapons. And then the 2 final upgrades for the healing items and life items, the revive items and stuff like that. So it actually does feel like we did a pretty good job of finding a lot of things. A lot of the Pictos or weapons that we missed, I don't know why I'm air quoting Pictos or weapons. The miss is the air quotes. A lot of those that we quote unquote missed were actually ones that we had seen. We just didn't buy them, except for that one vendor who we did end up finding. So that was all pretty neat. Pretty pleased with how things go. But we're gonna go to the final dungeon now, and we're gonna try to see the end of the game. I don't know how long the final dungeon is gonna be. I presume, considering we started this kind of like in-game sequence when we were like mid 60s to mid 70s, somewhere in that range. I don't quite remember, but considering we were around that area, and we are now like low 90s, I don't imagine that the final dungeon is going to be especially challenging for us. Like Jay recommended, we might actually, try to do the final fight. If I can like see it ahead of time, we might take off Painted Power and do it with the damage cap on. We'll see.
Here we
but
go.
we're gonna do some dungeones and see how it goes. Tiny baby, and the Dodie. And I fixed everyone's outfits because as awesome as the Oskio outfits are, they are very conflicting with what I expect to be some serious moments here at the end of the game. So back to our normal setup. Although this looks like everyone, well, I mean, in these situations, in the cutscenes, everyone's wearing their whatever outfits.
It's dangerous for you near Papa.
Papa. Assume it's dangerous for everyone near Papa.
We'll have to move fast. I can't maintain them for very long.
the army. That's pretty badass. That is pretty badass.
Tomorrow comes.
Oh shit! Okay, that was cool. I don't want to speed through this area because I do believe there's. I say I do believe. I know there's stuff hidden in this. In fact, on the whole journal thing. Oh. Whoops. Didn't quite expect that to happen. Well, bad. Okay, don't get too close to the portal. Gotcha. Understood. Holy shit. Okay, eyes front. I want to look around, but clearly eyes front. Holy shit. Okay. Got something here.
Wow, wow.
Illumina. What about the other side? Holy fuck, they fighting everywhere.
These expeditioners are glorious wreakers of havoc.
The sword of Lumiere.
Trying to contain myself. Check my corners. Oh, hey, destructible. Haven't seen one of those in a while. And it gets us some chroma. Alright, that's fair enough. Beavis. Alright, are we gonna have to actually fight? Yep, we gotta actually fight. Violins be going crazy! Oh, I assume we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. How's it going, Jay?
Well, that will help.
A little jarring spending so much time out in the world doing literally anything else but this. Yeah.
Void, take everything.
It'd be what it be. That, the whole, like, undead expeditioner army was pretty cool, though. Or is pretty cool. Look at him going! Fuck yeah! Getting all the parries.
Useful?
No. Don't you start with me. I spent most of the game parrying. Don't start your shit. Here I go starting my shit. That do be the way of things, right?
Void takes everything.
What have we here?
Trying to work my way through this place carefully. Oh, okay.
An advantage.
Kind of flashbanging me there. Alright, now we will back out and go up the middle. There are two of them! This is getting out of hand!
I'm ready.
Good thing I have 2 turns.
Blades sharp.
Awesome memes. But the thing about that is memes generally come from things that are funny, but not always good for good reasons. So they got good memes, but that doesn't necessarily make them good. Huh. Okay. I assume we're going that way. Bye! That was fun. This is back to the very beginning, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Totally back to the very beginning. Oh shit! Did he jump on him? He did! Oh fuck! That's cool. Sure there will be something cool where the game started. Like it was only yesterday. Yeah, right when... Man, I love this game. This is probably one of my all-time favorite games now, after having put so much time in it. But we had a rocky-ass start, just getting the game going. Like, fucking, whoa. And there is an item. Energizing, powerful. Plus 2 AP on applying powerful. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it was a legit concern. I think for me, it wasn't a legit concern about never getting to play it, but it was a legit concern about getting to play it right then. Right? Like, it was the concept of like, I'm sure I would have gotten to play it eventually, but I was pretty positive there for a while that I was just fucked at that point. going over there? Going to town. Okay, well this is concerning. I'm not sure the red ones are on my side. In fact, I think the red ones might not be on my side.
The 32s.
The 32s? Oh no, that hurts. Oh, that hurts quite a bit. That's not okay. Oh. It's a Gustav and a Mael.
Void, take everything.
Sad. That's sad.
Void, take everything.
Isn't it supposed to be Sophie? Yeah, that makes sense. The Peso. I don't remember if we ever did we see Sophie
that will
fight.
help.
I don't remember. But that definitely was her hat and stature. Aw. You still haven't seen her fight. That's true. Fine. We didn't see a fighting stance from her previously. How about that?
Nice.
You saw her idle animation. Well,
Great. Void, take everything. Blades shut. Void, take everything.
Let us stain them.
look, it's just a neck.
Now's our chance.
Now we shoot. Oh. Okay. Alright, we got a little jumping scenario here. $125? What is this shit? What? The fuck? Minorly insulted. Only minorly. Oh, hey. There is something.
Good stuff.
Void, take everything.
Did I update the Liquorum the last time? Also, I haven't really talked about this, but the fucking, the whole candy theme from the DLC really, really, really makes me think of the Dimension 20 Crown of Candy seasons. And I love that, actually. Like, I really love that. Fucking hell!
What have we here?
Guitar is going crazy.
Your father. He's at the tower.
Yes.
I am.
Got super cereal. Hello, you. Did I ever go find the log for Expedition 60? I looked it up, and it's here. The log that I was missing is in this dungeon. Presumably in this dungeon.
Interesting.
Actually, you know what? I was worried about... I was worried about whether or not I missed it back at the beginning, so let me double check. I don't think I've missed it. I'm not gonna skim through that entire thing because I, again, am trying to avoid spoilers. But I did confirm that I have not missed it. It is in this dungeon. And yeah, I was actually, when I first started up the stream, I was talking about that. I do feel like I've Kodama'd fairly well. I only actually missed a couple Pictos and a few weapons throughout the whole game. There were more Pictos that I didn't get that were at shops, but I found them, I just didn't get them because I couldn't afford them. Same with weapons there. And then the other things that I missed were the final upgrade for the health and the final upgrade for the revive. But overall, it feels like, considering how much shit there is in this game, feels pretty good. I want to say this was the right way to go when we came through the very beginning. So I think let's go this way. Oh, maybe it just curves. We can double check. Do I have the... Let's try this one. Oh, that's not gonna work. I forget. Oh! Interesting. It does work because it counts. It doesn't count each attack against each enemy as a single attack. It's you did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next. What is that gonna be? 8, 9, 10 hits will hit. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's neat. That's an interesting interaction that I would not have thought of. Okay, so yeah, this does just loop, so both are the right way to go, apparently. Something just got fucked up here. Alright, they didn't win against that guy. Miles Expeditioner Legion has done well, but not that well.
Prepare for annihilation.
Yeah, that guy, he should have done, if not the
Nice.
DLC, he should have done a couple of other side quests first.
Good stuff.
He looks scary. This guy looking a little scurry.
Void, take everything. Void, take everything.
A storm is coming. So much potential.
Augmented counter 3! That's one of the Pictos that I don't have! There you go. I can boost my counterattack damage even
Great.
more. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, all the counterattack damage I did to Simon prior to me swapping builds. Because there was a point where I was doing counterattack damage to Simon. Yeah, fuck.
The Opera House.
Yeah, fuck.
Interesting.
I gotta say, these small little chroma piles are almost insulting. Ah, this is it. Woohoo! Make it out of the city! What happened? A legendary expedition known for its unorthodox tactics.
William, Expedition 60. They mocked us when we said the human body is the strongest of them all. We trained relentlessly, and now our bodies have achieved the pinnacle of human performance, with which we are able to crush our enemies. We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime, we are impervious. That's how we were able to charge through that ghostly Gamage barrier and reach the Paintress. But it seems we've been wrong about what she is. The Paintress is just as trapped as we. The real terror lies beneath the monolith. The rest of Expedition 60 marched on to confront him, while I was tasked to warn Lumiere. But it seems I might have run out of time. One last swim separates me from Lumiere, but even with my mighty muscles, I don't know if I can outswim the Gamage. So here I write my final message. Bare naked muscles will save the world. And don't waste time on the Paintress. Aim for the bottom of the monolith.
So you're telling me Expedition 60 basically figured it all out? And almost succeeded just through the power of being swole? Holy fuck! That's wild.
William, Expedition 60.
That is wild. That is that's something else. Yeah, they're just like, nah. We got this. We are glorious.
Interesting.
Pretty nice. appropriately sized chairs. It's very nice to hear Verso play.
Perfect.
It is, it's very nice to hear Verso play. So many little things in this game. Company, this studio did an amazing job. Be very proud of the product they created.
Nevrons from the Axon Islands. What are they doing here?
Like Axons, they're Papa's creations, not Claire's.
Aha.
Good stuff.
Finesse and grace. The dance begins.
One shot. One kill.
Nice.
Healing stun.
Void, take everything. Shaft. Void, take everything.
Well, that will help.
Almost there.
Mael,
Let's go. Void,
My music
take
went away.
everything.
I don't know if it intentionally went away because we're close or
Shaft.
what.
Void, take everything.
what have we here?
Healing stun converted to chrome. Didn't we just pick up healing stun right over there? Was there a double healing stun? Like, hey, we really want you to be able to get this whether you go left or right.
What have we here?
Like, good.
Nice. Nice.
What? Why is there a gestural merchant here? What?
Well, that will help.
Will it? What are you doing here?
Kaupa kiko mau. Ome.
This place is sad. Correct. This place is sad. We'll buy the one we don't have. Bullistera. And let's fight him. Oh, we'll just go with the Mael.
Naru pokkirave.
Full strength. 25% increased damage on full strength. Pretty decent. Roll.
Monoseko.
Oh. Is it really? Is that comparable to where? Wow.
Papa is somewhere past the gardens.
Just fucking wow. Okay. Somewhere past the gardens. I'm assuming in that direction. So let's go not that direction first. Navron die trying to protect this. That you other Nevron question mark? I don't know. Weird. Yeah, there are so many things in this game that are like this that are like you can just look at it and wonder and be like, what happened here?
I can't sustain the expedition as much longer.
Med, we need to defeat them fast.
Great.
Say fast, like, I'm gonna go any faster exploring this place than I am right now. That's the neat thing. I won't. Uh-oh. That just means more fights for us. All good.
Prepare for annihilation. I'm ready.
Time is of the essence. Ah, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Fine, it's fine.
What have we here?
Void, take everything. This hurts.
Well, that will help.
Ah, interesting. Neat little one.
Spill some ink. Void, take everything. This will hurt.
What have we here?
Jeez. Calm down there, buddy.
Nice. Void, take everything. Great.
Great, he says.
Your father's been extra inspired.
A most enticing challenge.
Yeah? Is that how we feel about this? I suppose if you can't... Well, here's the thing. These guys are from... The creations are from Renoir's drafts. And they kicked our ass the first time we found them, which was well into our world tour. So if you had come straight here when the in-game opened, I imagine this guy actually would be an asshole.
Void, take everything. The dance begins.
That's not what happened. No, it is not. That is not what happened. Faster than strong. Always play twice in a row, but deal 50% less damage. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if that stacks with Cheater to give you four turns, but at 50% damage. I would assume no.
Ow, wow, wow.
But it would be pretty crazy.
Papa's over there. And the chroma we need to bring back Lumiere.
Well,
I can sense him.
use it for a scenario when
Better
you're
make sure
not
they're ready.
worried about damage. AKA you're trying to, like, I don't know, buff or do something. Alright. Here is the moment. And I think, against better judgment, gonna do it. I'm gonna take... Painted Power off. So that the final fight is potentially challenging. We'll see. Oh, I think if I'm gonna do that, I'm also going to take off Faint. No reason to nerf myself too much. I say as I literally cut my damage from millions to tens of thousands. But will probably make for a more exciting situation. I say that, but I don't know that it's gonna matter, because I don't know that I'll feel threatened, but we'll see. Maybe he's got like a rage timer one-shot kill scenario. Yeah, true.
Papa?
Alicia.
Please. I just want you to understand what this canvas means to me.
I do understand. I know how powerful and intoxicating it is. How deeply attached we can become to the worlds we pour our hearts and souls into.
That hits too fucking
I was
hard.
enthralled, and it nearly killed me.
Doesn't mean
hits
you have to
too
erase
fucking hard.
Verso's canvas.
Child, do you think I want to? After all the sorrows, we've endured. Do you really think that I want to destroy this last piece of his soul?
Then don't. Don't.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices. We do what we must.
We do what we must.
Grief often blinds us, and we make choices we can never take back.
You grieve for two.
I grieve for many.
The choices of parents leave indelible marks upon their children. But ultimately, the voices in their head have to be their own. You cannot set the boundaries of their life for them.
After the fire, you wanted me to find new joy in life. And I tried. But I couldn't. I couldn't. Verso died because of me. How do I get from that to joy?
Child, it will get better, I promise you. But this is not the way. Your friends speak truth. And it changes nothing. You can hate me. But that's a choice I must make. As your father, I must look out for you. Especially when you can't look out for yourself.
You treat me as if I'm still 5!
I treat you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you from us too!
I'm really glad I didn't go with the Oskio outfits.
I said enough.
That's a good moment. That's a good moment. I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh. Yeah, unless he's got a phase 2, this still isn't gonna take that long. Okay, I'm gonna stop shooting. That's kind of cheating.
Let us stay here.
Time to bleed.
I'm just gonna skip a couple turns. See what he
likes
does. Oh, one wasn't a jump.
The storm is coming.
I'm ready.
Time to bleed. I want to choose.
Oh no, we're so fast that skipping turns still puts us ahead of him.
Now was our chance.
Well, the last couple times he tried to engage with Renoir, it didn't come across very well. Ooh, shit!
Yeah. Blades sharp.
The elements dance.
A bit of violence, yes. It likes you.
Time to hit big.
Sketchy.
On guard.
So much potential.
We're gonna skip until we see him repeat an attack, and then we'll
I want to choose.
noodle a little more.
Mayhem.
On guard. Finesse and grace. Ready to parry.
Yeah, that
So
was
much
new.
potential.
On guard.
So much power.
Overflowing with energy. A storm is coming.
Parry it.
Failed the dodge and then still got to do it. Okay. Crazy to me. Jennifer English and Ben Starr fighting against Andy Serkis to the vocals of Victor Borba. Fun. Very fun.
Void, take everything.
I want to choose. My cup is
We're
full.
gonna skip Minoko's and
Now is our chance.
Fune's turns.
Finesse and grace.
Just keep attacking with Mile.
Time to hit big.
See if we get any
Void,
like
take everything.
specific HP triggers along the way. Summons the Axons. Okay. Alright.
We must accept things as they are, not how we want them to be.
I'm ready.
What would Verso have wanted? Truly,
Now is our chance. Overflowing with energy.
Time to bleed.
Void, take everything. This hurt. Let's dance.
Actually, I don't need to dodge. I can just space tank it. Oh, he's powerful
Now's
now,
our
though.
chance. Now is our chance.
Void, take everything. Time to hit big.
So much power.
A storm is coming.
Blades sharp.
Ready to evade.
What lovely feet.
defends Renoir? He threw a fucking house at us. Oh,
Let's
that's funny.
spill some ink. Blades sharp.
Now was our chance.
It likes you.
What would Verso have wanted? Truly.
The dance begins.
What would Verso have wanted? Not this. I feel like I can confidently say, not this.
Overflowing with energy.
Sweet taste of battle.
Let's spill some ink. Blades sharp. Lune, watch out!
Ooh.
Stop this insanity. It's time to go home.
Okay.
I do love a challenge, but this is beginning to irk me.
Fuck. He keeps regenerating.
Maybe we focus on the axons first.
No, she can't.
Mama. Come on.
Mama.
Aline, you're going to kill yourself. It's too soon for you to return to any canvas.
She's about to strangle Cyrene. Yep. Like, bye-bye regeneration. It's a kaiju fight! Alright.
Selfish, Aline!
Now's our chance. Chroma is flowing.
So much power.
The dance begins.
A storm is coming. Overflowing with energy.
Give me the attacks.
Blades sharp.
What not defeat?
Let's attack with everyone.
We're overdue for some mayhem.
I'm ready.
Ali, look at Alicia. She can't be here. Aline, it's supposed to be you and me, not you against me.
Go home, Renoir. Go paint something else.
Why am I the only one who sees this?
That was a fucking building, my dude.
Spill some ink. I'm ready.
So much potential.
Now's my favorite part.
Blades sharp. Run up.
The elements dance.
So much power.
Faster than skipping turns.
The elements dance.
Also lets him, you know, do a couple things, but gets him low.
Dance begins. This will hurt.
See if there's a phase 3.
I'll
My
do it.
speed is too high. It is. Void meteors. Fuck, I couldn't see the others.
Yes. My favorite part.
Let the ink flow.
I don't want it to be Lune.
Time to hit big.
Let us stain them. Now is our chance.
Sweet taste of battle. Ah, what a chance.
Danger!
Nope, I'm not countering that because I don't want to accidentally do that and kill him. I want it to be Mael. It was very tempting.
Now is our chance.
The dance begins. Blades
Oh.
sharp.
He didn't move. HP didn't move. Phase 3 unleashes his power.
Aside, the canvas is killing you both.
Not this time.
That was cool, but also feels bad. I was trying not to sneeze. Damn. I got a Luminous.
Ironic. Your mother was the one who saved me when I lost myself in a canvas. without flying too close to the sun. We painted hundreds of canvas worlds, pushing the very boundaries of creation. And she never let me forget that every day we spent here has a price. Yet, here we are now.
So trust her. If she's doing this, then...
I trust what she taught me. This is not a game. You think you know what's at stake, but you don't.
I know precisely what's at stake. You want control. You want to feel like you're doing something. You couldn't save Verso, so you want to save us. Except you're not. Destroying the canvas won't help us move on. It'll just deny us the one place that helped us feel again.
67 years. 67 years I spent trapped within the monolith. But I persisted. I persisted. Do you know why? Do you know why I cannot leave her or you behind? This is what I see every day. I cannot spend another day with living corpses. Since the fire, our family has crumbled. Aline in the canvas. Clair fighting a solitary war. You, a living ghost. Verso's death broke us. Want it to be fixed. I need it to be fixed. I cannot lose you too.
Don't you see? That's how I feel about them. I can't lose them either. I've lost too much. Papa, see? I've lost so much.
We both lost so much.
Papa, I don't want to lose you either. I'm not leaving you forever. Just a little longer.
I want to trust you, but
you can.
keep the light on for you. I hope you find peace. Hold on to each other.
Verso!
I'm sorry.
I don't think you were supposed to do that, Verso. Hold the fucking phone. I was not expecting to suddenly control Verso. It is Verso.
Hi. You're tired of painting, aren't you? I'm tired too.
That's... You shouldn't be able to be here.
Mamon's gift.
Why did you run in? It's dangerous for you here.
See things as they are. Not how you want them to be.
What?
You lied to your father.
No.
He saw it too. But he wanted to believe. You're going to die here. Why don't you just leave? You can always come back.
The moment I leave, Papa will erase this canvas.
This is not worth your life.
What life? My life
It
of
is a life.
loneliness in a shell of a body, with no voice and no future.
You're my El. No matter where you are, you don't need this canvas.
But everything I want is here. Here I have a chance to live, Verso, to live. Out there I merely exist.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices.
Stop quoting Papa!
It's time to stop painting.
Verso! Papa also said, hold on to each other.
Old friend, you've traveled miles, spinning in circles. Your blind eyes on the dial, stripping.
I'm sorry.
It's an unexpected wrinkle.
But it's time to say goodbye until
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Alright, this was an unexpected wrinkle that I did not foresee. Holy shit. Okay, here is the thing. Yeah, talk it out, right? Here's the thing. I have been fully on Mael's side. Because... And Aline's side. Because... this concept of... it's not real, it's not worth it, it's not... whatever... you don't get to make that decision about a person's life. Like, a person's life does not have to live up to a standard for it to be worth it. Especially not to them, right? If Mael feels as if she has nothing in the real world, and that this is a place that is happy for her, lets her believe in something, how is that less worthwhile than quote-unquote real life? Drawing the parallel to real life, like the concept of someone criticizing another person for spending their life playing video games, or spending their life reading books, or spending their life being invested in any hobby, really, right? Or any other type of thing, you know, as long as it's not hurting people. It's this... there is not one universal standard of what it is to have a valuable, worthwhile life. And whatever comfort a person can find in whatever is generally a good thing. And people should leave other people the fuck alone. Well, the only difference is that she's slowly dying while on the canvas. As opposed to what? Slowly dying in the real world? That's what I'm saying, is oh, you're going to slowly die while being the canvas. Yeah, but if she spends 67 years in the canvas, living to her full life, right? Then she has lived a full life in the canvas. And if she dies, that would still feel like a complete life for her. Whereas, if she lived 67 years in the real world, she's still going to eventually die. But if she is unhappy for those 67 years, then, you know, what the fuck? Why would that be any better? So, I have been on the Mael train this whole time. Because absolutely, it makes perfect sense. This ending was an unexpected wrinkle in that scenario. Because I had not realized that this piece of Verso that they keep describing, this last remnant of Verso's soul, which is clearly the faceless boy, right? When they said that the canvas, throughout the whole game, they talked about this canvas being the last bit of Verso's soul. And we see the representation of actual Verso, we see the faceless boy throughout the game, etc., etc. But I had never made the connection that this canvas, while being utilized like this, is basically a prison for this last piece of the soul. And that sucks. That really sucks. That really sucks. Because that doesn't make it a selfless choice anymore, right? It doesn't. It had previously been Mael basically choosing getting to choose for herself, you know, do I want to live a life in the canvas with the people that I have come to care about and in a place that I feel like I can actually be myself and eventually die? Or do I want to go back to the real world and have this canvas lost to me and live a hell on earth to me and then eventually die, right? Like, that's the thing. It'd be one thing if in the real world she was immortal, right? Maybe she'd have time to get over it, but, like, she's gonna die eventually either way, so wouldn't it make more sense to die in a place where she's happy and feels loved and can love? But now that we know it is at the expense of this last piece of Verso's soul basically being imprisoned, that changes the situation. Also feels like to me that the entire journey would be for nothing if you let the canvas go. Yeah, absolutely. So here is my legitimate rationale to the situation. Here is what, if I was on a jury witnessing this final moment, and it wasn't down to a fight, it was down to, you know, people pick Mael or pick Verso. I would pick Mael. I would pick Mael, and I have a rationale to it, and that it is somewhat a lesser of two evils rationale. Verso is dead. There is no changing that. This last piece of Verso's soul is, in fact, basically imprisoned within this canvas. That is kind of what this fight is over. But Verso is already dead. Mael is alive. It is the concept of condemning a living person to an existence they do not want when they have an alternative existence that they do want, after which will eventually kill them, after which this last piece of Verso's soul could be laid to rest. Though at the same time, I personally am of the opinion, right, like, there's been this dancing around in the concept of, like, these painted creations aren't real. Well, fuck you. What does it mean to be real? They are born, they grow up, they have loved ones, they have families, they have friends, they live, they learn, they experience things, they love, and they eventually die. That is real, right? Like, whatever your fucking definition of real is, it's pretty fucking hard not to, like, have all of those descriptors conform to the definition of real. So, I am for Mael as a real person being able to choose how she lives the remainder of her life. And then, if there is anyone who cares after that point, they could snuff out the last piece of Verso's imprisoned soul. But at the same point, I will say this. If the world of this canvas would continue with Verso's last piece of his soul imprisoned, if it would continue and people would continue to be born and live lives and love and eventually die and continue and continue and continue and continue, there is merit in that concept of the sacrifice of a single soul, a single shard of a soul. being doomed to that eternity for the sake of others. And that sucks. That real sucks. But here's the funny thing about eternity. The funny thing about eternity is as long as things aren't over, you can always look for new ways to fix problems. Doesn't need Mael in the canvas for it to continue. Even Verso said she could come back whenever. Yeah, that's not the question though. The question is she doesn't want to go back home. She wants to live here. This is where she is happy and feels like she can do something. So she doesn't. The question isn't can she leave and come back. The theory behind that is true, although I believe her when she says that if she leaves, Papa Renoir will just, as soon as she's safely out of the canvas, Renoir will probably be like, nope, canvas is gone. Right? Because he won't want to risk her going back. So, yeah, no. I am, this sucks. This is a wrinkle in the scenario of, like, finding out this last piece of Verso is basically imprisoned here. But at the same point, that doesn't invalidate the worth of the lives of everyone else. You're telling me, like, oh, this last piece of Verso is imprisoned here, so we should erase the canvas. Ciel doesn't matter, the life that she's lived, the people she's lost, the people that maybe return to her, Lune, Monoko, like, you're telling me those people don't matter. All the people we've met along the way. You're basically saying they don't matter, and I'm not saying you, Jay, are saying this, but I'm saying the choice is saying this, right? Like, if you pick the choice of erase the canvas, you're picking the choice of saying that those people don't matter. And fuck that. Like, if I had to choose between everyone in the world suddenly being wiped out of existence or a piece of one person's soul being trapped forever as, like, the Energizer Bunny power cell of existence, which would I choose between? It would suck to condemn that one soul or one piece of a soul, but hell, I'd do it to probably more than just a few souls. We're fighting as Mael. Alright, Verso.
Void, take everything.
You also picked Mael? I think Mitch and Rachel both picked Verso? Wow, traitors. Think this might be a controversial statement. It's two statements, really. The first statement is and this is definitely controversial. I will say I think the only logical choice is picking Mael. So that's controversial statement number one. Second statement probably isn't as controversial, and it's not really a statement, it's more of an observation. Verso throughout the game consistently makes very sudden, very rash, impulsive, emotional choices. And this feels like it is another rash, impulsive, emotional choice. Like the choices that he made previously, Like when he basically condemned everyone to die previously, he's making that choice again. We already did the forgiveness redemption tour where Verso basically condemned everyone to die and then had to go back to everyone and regain their trust and shit. And now he's doing it again. The choice has been presented to him again, and he's again going, no, actually, I decided that everyone should die, and then I decided actually I would fight with all of you, and I earned your forgiveness, and now I'm deciding again, your lives don't matter that much, and the world's gonna end. He saw what staying in the canvas did to his mom, and he absolutely didn't want that for his sister. That's a stupid concept, though. That is a his mom stayed in the canvas for 67 plus years. Like, his mom stayed in the canvas for 67 plus years. That's a whole ass life. If Mael wants to live in the canvas, let her live a life in the canvas. You know what? If people weren't fucking with her the whole time, she might have already lived enough of a life in the canvas to have been happy with it and come the fuck out. Can't wait to be a fly on the wall when Mitch and I talk about this. I doubt we'll really talk about it too terribly much. We'll probably just be like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. But it'd be
Void,
with me.
take everything.
But yeah, it is a very emotional, like, impulsive decision, as Verso has done previously.
Void, take
And
everything.
it honestly makes me feel even more vindicated for choosing Mael, because he's already done this once to everyone.
Verso, stop! You can't just decide this for everyone!
We're all hypocrites, doing the same thing to each other.
Are we? I want to let him go at least once. Oh, no, he burned. Never mind, sorry. Drafts collide. I think I missed dialogue. I'll go look it up.
Please, I beg you. Stop him from painting.
Don't say that. Please, don't say that.
Hey, please, listen to me. Only you can do this. You can do this, please. Unpaint me. Unpaint me.
So,
Please. I don't want this life.
stop saying that.
I don't want this life. I don't want this life.
I will say,
I just wanted to live this lifetime together. This lifetime that was stolen from us.
okay. Now I'm less on Mael's side.
Please.
I don't want this life.
Just like Mael should be able to live the life she wants,
Help me.
Verso should also not have to live the life he doesn't want. The right thing.
If you could grow old, would you find a reason to smile?
Is that a young little verso? That's CL's husband. Maybe that's not a young verso, maybe that's CL's child? IDK? I feel like it could be either. Looks closer and closer to Renoir. Beginning to see that the idealized version in my head is not quite what has translated with my L, I believe. But that's life. You can have the grandest hopes and aspirations, but they don't always translate in the way that you want them to. And at the end of the day, Lyle was a paintress. Yeah, that is sad. I think I wanted a happy ending. I wanted a happy ending, especially for, like, Ciel, Lune, Minoko. I wanted a happy ending because I felt like they deserved happy lives. And obviously I felt like Mael and Verso deserved happy lives, but they were clearly more troubled in the scenario. Having also picked the Mael ending, but like Verso being like, I don't want to live this life, and then Mael brings his ass back as super fucked up. Yeah, that's the thing is there exists an idealized version of this ending where Mael respects Verso's wishes and she unpaints him, but she restores the damage done by her family. She restores the people lost, and they get to live happy lives. And she lives amongst them and has her own happiness, and eventually either dies or leaves the painting. But as this game has shown repeatedly, people are complex beings, and even in our best moments, there are dark, selfish desires that we have. And Mael's selfish desire was having the life with her brother that she never got to have. And at the end of the day, being a paintress, she basically has godlike powers, and she was able to force that issue, which is sad. And you're right, they probably did, but the ending doesn't focus on their happy lives to give you that levity, to give you that feeling of, oh, it was worth it because they had happy lives. They probably did, but the ending doesn't focus on it. The ending focuses on the fucked up part, which is, I would assume, intentional, right? Because there is no way that this ends on either side unless they ignore the characters that they've created and they do make that happy idealized version, which is probably unrealistic for characters like Verso and Mael, right? You load from the autosave, it'll take you back to the choice. I will probably experience the other choice. I mean, we probably could do it. But I am happy with the choice that I made. Even if the other choice ends up making me feel better, I am happy with the choice that I made because of the idealized concept. I would always rather go for the idealized concept. What a fucking game indeed. 10 out of 10. Okay, 10 out of 10. Obviously, no game is fucking perfect. When I say a game is 10 out of 10, it doesn't mean that there isn't a single flaw in the game, right? There are flaws in this game. There are little annoyances, there are little, like, glitchy behaviors, there are things that I think could be a little bit better here or there, etc., etc. And I say that when they have already made incredible quality of life changes while I was playing the game. And there's fantastic shit that they have done to make the game better while I was playing. But even without that, This game is 10 out of 10 for me because of, not because it's perfect, but because it is incredibly unique and incredibly close to perfection on a conceptual scale. Completely deserves all of the accolades it has received. Absolutely. Maybe the best game I've ever played from an emotional standpoint. Maybe. It treats people like people. And that is incredibly odd in a video game. Most often, characters in video games are simple caricatures. And even good games, I mean, the thing about video games is you know, they don't contain the sum of a person's existence. Like, sum of a real person's existence. Still kills you when Mael was sitting at Gustav's grave and thanked him for being her family? Absolutely. What kills me, though, is that she goes through that. She had such love for Gustav. But once she regained her memories, she became a different person from who she was prior to that point. Because the Mael at the beginning of the game, the Mael that lost Gustav, would not have done to Verso what the Mael at the end of the game did. Yeah, she gained the memories and personality of an entirely different life. Absolutely. The music is truly phenomenal. The atmosphere, absolutely ridiculous. I've kind of started to, like, conceptualize graphics and, like, the entire package of, like, graphics and audio and, like, vibe, all as, like, the atmosphere of a game. It's an incredible experience. It truly is. And the gameplay is fucking dope. It's a lot of fun. Oh. Very sweet. Very sweet. Okay, let's how do I can I just boom right there? See how that goes? Oh, this took me... Can't load that one. Ah. Load previous saves. Auto save. Or the fifth one down. No, that would have been too early. That was like an hour ago. Maybe this one? Put me here. It's in there somewhere. There. They're all, ooh, oh. No, these are all quite old. Is it really? Oh, because I did sit here and talk for a long time. I guess I did talk for like 40 minutes about the whole Mael Verso choice. Let's just leave. Let's never provoke the it's time to stop painting. Oh. I mean, maybe. Verso just quit. We'll see the Verso ending. Sounds so fast compared to Mael in this fight. Her turn is all the way at the bottom. What the fuck?
Don't do this. Don't leave me again.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, huh? You've got this incredible power to paint. You'll never have to suffer a life you don't want. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
I can spin this to also be good though. Logical scenario: if Mael has all the powers of Paintress, I wonder if she could just exit the canvas, repaint everyone from this canvas into a new canvas, and then erase this canvas. That's not gonna happen, but I wonder if that would be possible. You're condemning them.
I will miss you guys.
Oh, that's where that theme comes from. Of Lune. She's mad. And she has every right to be mad.
It's okay. It's over. Versa.
The question I have is, does the painting... Ah.
Miroir du temps, nos histoires s'alignent dans le creux de nos mains. Deux mondes se dessinent.
I do feel like this is probably the more canon ending.
Où le chagrin s'efface, l'autre nu et réel, où notre deuil prend place.
You know what I want? I want a game of... You know, Claire's whole war? Of the painters versus the... What, the poets or whatever? I want that... I want that game. The war against the writers. Yeah, I want that game. From either perspective.
Les liens restent éternels dans le dessin. Toile vierge, horizon lointain, peignons ensemble les couleurs de demain. Au clair obscur, œuvres infinies. Chaque pas trace la route d'une vie. Au lendemain non écrit, sous les étoiles où tout commence, rien ne finit. Dans l'étreinte du destin, les liens restent éternels dans le dessin.
Yeah. Let me go kill some writers. Yeah, okay, so I was right. There is no, like, in a situation like this, there is no happy ending. That that ending does have a vibe. It has the feel of being the more canon ending. I might be a little bit miffed. Obviously, right, like the showing, yeah, it has a bigger sense of closure, but it has a bigger sense of closure in the finality for characters like Lune, CL, Minoko, Eskie, etc., right? Because other people just decide that they don't get to live. It's done. And I do get the reasoning behind the Mael ending of showing the dark selfishness of the choice there. I get that. But at the same time, it is overlooking those others getting to live that happy life. I mean, we see a very brief glimpse of it with Eskie and Minoko being with the people, and CL's husband being back, and that maybe being her child, and but it's overshadowed by the like the vibe, the imprisoned oppression, the faux relationship, the forced relationship between Mael and Verso there at the end. And I get why the ending is expressed in the way that it is, but a part of me has spent so much time, like 100 hours, spent so much time with Lune and CL and Minoko, and they deserve happiness. They deserve a chance to live. And it kind of sucks that we don't really get to see them in that happiness. When Gustav returned, right? They got it, but that's not the focus there at the end. The focus is Mael's dark mask eyes and Verso clearly wishing that he didn't exist. But it's still amazing, right? Like, it is a stark reminder that something can be beautiful without it being lovely, or pleasant. And it's a beautiful ending, as is the Verso ending. Is a beautiful ending, even though it does feel like in the Verso ending everyone's efforts were for naught, and Mael is forced to suffer through a life she doesn't want. But that's the thing at the end, right? It's two individuals wanting different things, and whoever wins is condemned to suffer, and that sucks. I wish there was a way for Mael's ending to not have her go down that selfish path and let Verso go and just be happy with everything else that she has. But life ain't always like that, or often like that, so that is sad. Does not change the fact that it is a phenomenal game. Damn. Real damn. Like, this is gonna be one of those games that I think about well into the rest of my life that I compare other things to. I mean, obviously, I've already been doing that. In the course of playing this game, I've been comparing other games to it while playing other games. We constantly in conversations, we'll bring up, you know, as a comparison, how much better character interactions in Expedition 33 are compared to a lot of other video games, right? That the characters feel more real because it feels like they're not just reading a descriptive paragraph off of a piece of paper. They're actually, like, talking to each other. But damn. Damn. That is rough that it comes to an end where Mael and Verso just cannot come to an agreement. Where Verso refuses anything further, and Mael can't let go of that dark heart. You know what? You like it? I like it too, right? Like, as much as I wish I got to see the... I don't want peace, I want problems, always. I don't want problems, always. But, as much as I would love to see the perfect little happy ending, much like the rest of the game, and what I have complimented the game on, with, like, realistic interactions, is people have different desires. And at the end of the day, those desires are often not compatible, and that is okay. It's okay until one of them is basically a god and forces the other to live anyways. Like, that's when it stops being okay. For real though, no Deus Ex Machina. Yeah, there's no just like sudden. I mean, Mael being a paintress and being able to return everyone to life is kind of in and of itself Deus Ex Machina. But the issue is that she herself, if we're talking about intervention of God, God in the machine type scenario, it's if that is how we are portraying it, then she is a dark god. And I mean that sucks, but it is in character. A beautiful game. I want this. I'm gonna find this image online, and I'm gonna probably put it in my background rotation. That is a truly that is the happy ending that I wish I could have right there, distilled in that image. That is the happy ending. Of everyone smiling and it all being okay. It's such a provoking story. It really is. It's an incredibly provoking story. It is a story of loss and tragedy. It's a story of, making moments matter. If your life was finitely measured and you knew it, what would you do with it? But at the same time, it has the wiggle room, the maneuverability of your life is measured, but you have a chance to fight against it. How would you fight against it? What lengths would you go to? It's love and trauma, compassion, loss, betrayal. It's an incredibly good game. It's the type of game that you experience and you kind of... Maybe it's like... On the one hand, it's like... Sometimes you have to experience bad things to... I actually think that's a stupid saying. I think it's a bullshit. The concept of you have to have the bad to compare to the good so you fully appreciate the good. I think that's actually stupid. I think if people were able to live genuinely good lives the majority of the time, I don't think they would be any less happy or appreciative of the good lives that they live. I think people use that concept to... That's a big discussion. Anyways, point I was gonna make is this is almost one of those types of games where it's like it gets you thinking about the rest of media as a whole, gaming specifically, but media in general, right? It's the same as watching an incredibly good movie or reading an incredibly good book and then looking at the other things that exist and being like, why aren't the rest of you better? Like, this exists. This exists. Expedition 33 exists. I get, like, the concept of, you know, a one-person team is not going to make Clair Obscur Expedition 33. But, this still doesn't compare to Patty's speech before the final fight in Vesperia. That's a point I'm trying to make, right? Like, it's obviously in terms and conceptualization, right? Like, differences in funding, differences in core skills, differences in viable capabilities throughout the, like, industry life cycle. I'm not gonna look back at Super Nintendo games and be like, why weren't they Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Huh? Right? But I do feel like I can look at games now and be like, why aren't you... Obviously not this game. I don't want 50 billion identical games. But why are your characters not more human? Right? Why are your interactions not more realistic? Why is the content of your story not more thought-provoking? Or if your story isn't intended to be thought-provoking, that can be fine too, because there are games out there that are just meant to be funsies. But yeah, this is that type of game that makes you, after you experience it, makes you sit there and observe other games or other pieces of media and scrutinize them and go, why are you like the way you are? And what can we do for it to be better? Because it's not even like, you know, it's almost kind of like there's a correlation to like art, where like art is subjective, so certain people can look at a piece of art and be like, oh, well, that is a masterpiece, and other people can look at it and be like, yeah, whatever, I don't see it, right? But generally, a general consensus will be formed. It's the concept of like, obviously, something like this game is not going to be for everyone, but clearly the general consensus is that this is a masterpiece. As we said previously, all the accolades that it received were deserved. But that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna like it. But it does show that, like, it's not snobbish to say that this game as an experience feels like art. A la, conceptually, it could just take this entire game. Like, you could axe the gameplay you could turn this into a movie, and it would be a great movie. You could, or a TV show, right? And it would be a great TV show. An animated TV show. Don't try to, like, please don't try to, like, IRL it, or live action it. But like, my point there is like, it is thought provoking. It is an experience. It is artwork, and not every game needs to be that by any stretch of the imagination. But it does beg the question of why more games aren't like that. Is it just skill issue, right? Like, is it just skill issue? Is it just, oh, the team behind Clair Obscur was a perfect storm and they created a masterpiece, and other teams just don't have the same stuff? I think that's probably a silly thought, right? Like, I fully respect the people behind this game, but I don't think that the people behind this game probably are more unique or more skilled than any particular other development studio, right? And that's not a slight or an insult towards them. The point I'm trying to make is they clearly had a vision and executed on that vision. But why is their vision and their execution so much better than a lot of other games? The landscape of game development is just not in the market to make games like this. So few studios make money first, game second. But the thing about that is, the stupid, silly thing about that is that this game is phenomenal. This game is a massive success. This game is a market landslide. like this game made probably so much money, and even if it didn't make that much money, which it probably did, right? Yeah, live service could have made more money, but this game made so much money. The other thing that it made is so many accolades, and those matter in money, because a studio that makes a game like this and nets so many accolades is going to be far more appealing to investors, right? To secure future investments to be able to make more games, right? Like, the cycle there is real. CEOs don't... I get what you're saying, and I do agree with you. I fully agree with you about the landscape of video gaming and the whole, like, corporatization, situation in the industry. But at the same time, there's a lot of... Yes, that is true about a lot of AAA companies, and even a lot of maybe smaller companies. But there are plenty of devs that are out there making games that are not that, right? That are smaller studios that are basically, like, trying to make their magic happen, just like this, right? So it's not just a question of, like, well, why aren't the EAs and, Activisions and shit like that making this? That's not the only question. It's why are smaller studios also not making this, right? You have shit like Chained Echoes and Sea of Stars, and those are steps in the right direction, I would say. Though at the end of the day, right, like, if I had to compare Chained Echoes to Expedition 33, do not get me wrong, I loved Chained Echoes. I think it is a great game. But I am not going to hold it from a candle standpoint to comparison of Clair Obscur. Yeah, it doesn't compare. It's not on the same scope of interaction and emotion. It does have emotion. It does have moments. Maybe that's the answer that I'm looking for. Maybe that's the answer that I'm looking for. Is the scope. Is it's not skill. It's that the team behind Clair Obscur obviously decided when they chose to make this game that the scope of their game was intended to be an emotional experience. And that's probably the difference. That's probably why more games are not like this, is because when people decide to make games, when studios decide to make games, they are not at the beginning deciding the scope of this game is to be an emotional experience, a piece of artwork that elicits emotional responses. Like, that is probably the reason. Because a skilled studio, skilled writers, skilled developers would be able to do that. Would be able to say, okay, we want to make, this is the scope. We want to make a emotional experience. We want to make a piece of art. And then probably do it. Now, whether or not it would be as good is going to be subjective, right? Because the subject matter matters. The skill behind it matters. But also, like, the person consuming the art matters in the moment. Like, where they are in their life and who they are in their life matters. But that's getting into the weeds. The point I'm trying to make is probably most devs approach with a different idea, right? They're like, oh, we want to make a game with the gameplay idea of X, and then everything else comes after, right? But everything that is developed or designed or conceptualized goes into that idea of, we want to make this game with this gameplay, with this, like, hook. I feel I could be wrong. I feel like I can guarantee the people behind Clair Obscur did not come to the drawing table saying, we want to make a game with this gameplay. Even though the gameplay in Clair Obscur is amazing, I feel like I can guarantee they didn't come to the drawing table saying, we want to make a game with this gameplay. Oh, we'll just also happen to make the rest of the game around it an incredibly emotional experience. I doubt that happened. They probably came to the table with the idea of, we want to make an incredibly emotional experience about all of these human features, these human emotions, and everything developed from there. It makes me think about, like, what I would do if I would make a game. Because, like, I've talked about this plenty of times, and I've floated the idea and had the idea for ages of, like, I write things all the time. But there's different things to write. And, like, I feel like I could take, like, an RPG like Vesperia. We'll use that as an example because it's a current topic for us. But I feel like I could take that and write it to be a better story. But I don't know that I could take it and write it to be an emotional experience, is the thing. You know? Because in order for it to be, it would have moments of emotional experience if it was a well-written story. But I wouldn't describe the entirety of it as an emotional experience. And it's so, like, it's in my head now of, like, if I could write a game, would I write an emotional experience? Or would I just write a good story, you know? And it's kind of like, huh, that's literally a question of scope. And now I've kind of talked my way through to the answer of why aren't there more games like this in the industry, you know? You don't know how you would convey this kind of emotion with text? Well, here's a secret story, Jay. Human beings have been conveying incredibly deep levels of emotion via the written word for hundreds of years. And the entire literature industry would like a word with you now. Obviously, there are different levels of experience available to a person. It is a very different concept of, like, reading a book versus watching a movie versus playing a JRPG versus playing Clair Obscur, right? Like, they're different locations on the axes of experience. And yeah, obviously, right? Like, in a perfect world, visually seeing something, hearing the speech, having sound effects and audio, compelling music, right? Like, all of those things are going to not necessarily bombard your senses, but they are going to have a direct impact on multiple senses compared to the solo reading a novel in your nook kind of situation. But at the same time, there are many very good books that I do think convey an appropriate level of emotion for the scope of the stories that they are telling. I think you're listening to one of them right now, actually. I think for all of its silliness, Dungeon Crawler Carl becomes, if you allow yourself to become invested in the story, becomes an incredibly emotional experience. So yeah. Speaking of DCC, shit's happening. It always is. Okay, this has been an amazing game. That's it. That's it. That's it for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. There's other stuff in the game that I have left. The Uber fights, the Endless Tower, seeing if I can get past that glitch, that type of stuff. But I don't know that I care about really noodling through those things on stream. I will probably muck about with them on my own personal time, but I don't know that I care about doing them on stream. We did Simon, we did Oskio, which those are the two that I kind of wanted to do after the Discovery, or after the DLC came out. So yeah, I think it's back to FF Tactics. Finish that up. Because I think for me, what we have gotten to experience from an emotional standpoint with Clair Obscur this is a good final note. It was an incredible game. It is a game I will probably recommend to people for years or decades to come. And it is a game that has me incredibly optimistic about the future of games that can be produced. It has me very interested in the future of Sandfall. And yeah, it's one of those games. You know what? It's kind of it's on a different note, but it's kind of like how Bastion was for me with Supergiant, where after experiencing Bastion, which was also a very like just an experience of a game, it really made Supergiant be like a thing that was on my radar, and now I feel like Sandfall is probably going to be just on my radar now, and I wish them the best of luck and hope amazing things for their future, and I hope we are lucky enough to get something else out of them, whether or not it is as good as Expedition 33. Because it's a scenario of like, what you're consuming doesn't always have to be the most perfect thing in existence. But I am interested to see what else they can cook up, you know? Don't know how you'd be better than this. The thing is I don't think you have to be better than Clair Obscur. Like, you can create a magnum opus. You can have a peak, and that's okay. But the things that you do or make after that can still matter. They can still be good. They can still be the best to someone else, you know? So I hope we get more out of them. Anyways, that's gonna be it. That's it for Clair Obscur. We should be back with some Final Fantasy Tactics in the future and see how it goes. Yeah, if it's half as good, it'll still be a fantastic game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.